Welcome, one and all, to a very British... I don't know what this is. This isn't a part of the rant. Hi, folks. I am Pugs Moran. These are the Kelly Moore Memorial Studios. We do a rant every day. You know what? I'm not going to pander. I'm not going to pander to my British friends. That's not what this is about. I do a rant every day, Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. It is hot topics, current events. It is talk radio, the way talk radio just simply isn't allowed to be done anymore in this country. This country being the United States. So let me tell you about how we got here. And by the way, before I do that, I must compel you, please, because I see all the kids who are here on YouTube doing this. Please like, follow, whatever that is, subscribe, smash that like button. And get ready to leave some comments because I have some questions and I hope that we can turn this into a bit of a give and take. As I said, I do a talk radio show every day here from the south side of Chicago. It is The Rant, 12 p.m. Radio Misfits on Facebook, Radio Misfits on YouTube, or you can just follow me, Pugs Moran. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, not so much on TikTok. I got to do that. So anyway, there's that with that. Now, I got to explain on how I got here, okay? Because we're going to talk about British culture. We're going to talk about what I, an all-American guy, 100% Irish. I'm 100% Irish-American, born and raised on the south side of Chicago. We're going to talk about what I know about Brits, about British culture, about all that stuff. Now, I have to be completely fair. If you listen to my daily rant talk show, hot topics, current events, lifestyle stuff, just normal people talking about normal things without ugly politics getting involved. If you listen to that, then you know that I advocate for Americans watching more British news. I do not watch any of the American cable news networks. I can't stand CNN anymore. I can't stand Fox News, MSNBC. Every issue as it's discussed in the American news media is partisan. It's all about politics. It's like nothing. There is no other kind of news other than, what did Trump do or this Biden's fault. It's crazy. So I've been advocating for quite some period of time now that we all check in on the offerings that we now have with smart TVs, easy access to things like BBC and Sky and all that kind of stuff. So I watch a lot of Sky. I watch a lot of BBC because I love the perspective on us. I cannot get a fair perspective on what's going on in America from American media because everything there, as I said, is entrenched in some kind of partisan ideology. But what I love about the Brits is that, they're like, they're not Republican or Democrats. They have similar kind of, things there, labor and conservative and all that. But it ain't like it is here. We are off the rails with whatever the hell is going on and what people are considering conservatism and all that. So I love the perspective, the non-political perspective on all the nonsense. So I've been advocating for quite a while. And because of this, I've been really sort of falling in love with British culture. I've been to England. I'm lucky enough that I've been to England twice now, but I really don't know very much about it. And we came to this point because a couple of weeks back, SNL UK debuted. Remember that? Of course you do. SNL UK debuted in England there. Now, that was a situation when I covered it on my daily rant where I said, wasn't this a thing already? I mean, doesn't it feel like they should have spun off SNL to the UK like in the mid-'80s or something? I mean, but whatever, it snuck up on me. I didn't know anything about it. And one of the other things that you'll know about me if you listen to the rant is that, I consider myself a Saturday Night Live historian. I've seen every episode of now we've got to make the distinction, the American-produced Saturday Night Live. And I can also say the same thing. I've seen every episode of the British version. So after the first week's episode, excuse me, I'm losing my voice, these crazy 4 seasons that we're having here in the Great Lakes region of Chicago. And Chicago is entirely in the Great Lakes region, so that didn't really make sense. But I did a full breakdown on the very first SNL UK, and I did it from the perspective of somebody who loves and has seen every episode of American UK. And YouTube just kicked it to the curb. They were like, get out of here with this garbage. That's licensed, and it never saw the light of day. And it was really good because just to, give you a nutshell of it, SNL UK is incredible. It's so good. The first episode with Tina Fey, it had Tina Fey all over it. And, the problem with American Saturday Night Live is that American Saturday Night Live hasn't had Tina Fey all over it. And I'm talking about in the role of executive producer and head writer and all that. We haven't had that in years at Saturday Night Live. And Saturday Night Live in America is still good to an extent. But my God, was it good to see Tina Fey's brilliant influence on that first show. She showed them how to do it. And it's not like she made them see things through her eyes or her comedy sensibilities. She just showed them the Chicago style of Second City sketch comedy as funneled through Saturday Night Live in New York. And I saw episode 2 last weekend. And my God, episode 2 might have been better than episode 1. SNL UK out of the box is incredible. That Jamie Dornan hostage sketch that he did, brilliant. Classic throwback SNL. Anyway, I wasn't allowed to talk about that. That show got scrapped because YouTube was like, you can't show these sketches. And I'm like, you're a jerk. I am offering public opinion. I'm not monetizing in any way. Trust me, it's been 5 years of me doing a live rant every day on current events, and I haven't been able to monetize that bitch in any way, shape, or form. So I started to think, all right, so how can I, do more on my new obsession with British culture and at the same time, not run afoul of YouTube's rules? So here's what I decided. I would give you a video on what somebody who, by the way, likes, man, I'm totally down with you guys right now. Got some questions about your ruler. That's what we call it now, right? We Western normal, we call them a ruler. We got one of those. We got a ruler. Nah, you're Keir Starmer guy. I'm enjoying watching him twist in the wind while ultimately doing the right thing. You don't need to send any of your guys over there. We shouldn't be sending any of our guys over there. It's enough. This isn't my daytime rant. So what I decided to do was try and just do a video about the things that I know about England. And I thought I would do it through the prism of England's largest cities. Britishes. See, this is the problem. Well, you guys, I love you. You're our country. Not country. We're the country cousins. You guys are way more sophisticated. You're like our cool, fancy, book learning cousins from across the sea. I got no hate. Trust me. But I also, don't really know all that much. And I was going to do a video on your slang. Maybe I'll do that. Because that's another weird one. I watch a lot of British TV now. I love me some Peaky Blinders. There's a lot of slang, a lot of stuff that, I'm like, what? Slow horses? Oh my God. Is anybody doing TV better than the Brits? I don't think so. They're on fire. So I wanted to run down a list of your biggest cities and just kind of riff on what I know about them. And what I'm hoping is that in the comment section, if you're from these cities, you'll enlighten me. And remember, there's no hate. There's just ignorance. That's all. I just might not know shit. And it's up to you, the proud citizens of these fine, again, what is it? United Kingdom? England? Britain? What are you calling yourselves? Let me tell you something else that I absolutely love. I had a British friend. She was a girl, and she lived in America. She lived in Dallas, Texas, and she was fascinated that we, the Americans, still put so much stock in the revolution. Like we Americans are very much like, you're just, yeah, well, we whipped your ass. And she explained to me how that is so funny to British people because they don't even think twice about the American Revolution. They've had so many uprisings from colonization problems. And, we don't even rate. It's like the most important thing. It's like our entire identity. And when we try and use it to embarrass England, you guys are just like, yeah, which one was that? Was that the one in the 1800s? Or we've had a lot of I love that attitude. It's always been one of my favorite attitudes. Anyway, excuse me before I lose my voice. So we're going to try and whisper here. But I want to go through the top 5 British metropolitan areas and give you what I know about them. And again, I'm hoping that you in the comment section will school me and teach me something. And by the way, fair is fair. I'm obviously in Chicago, right? I got all the Chicago teams represented behind me, the Fighting Irish and Notre Dame. They are a Chicago area team, just so you know. I got White Sox, I got my Bears, I got my Blackhawks, I got some Jordan and Rodman and Pippen Bowl stuff, right? So I'm from Chicago. You guys want to tell me what you think you know about Chicago in the comments? I'd love to have a give and take. This will work both ways. But again, let's not be dicks, right? We can't help where we're born, and we love where we're born, regardless. All right, here we go. Number 5, British cities ranked and what I know about them. Number 5, how about Leeds, ladies and gentlemen? Leeds. All right, so here's what I know about Leeds, okay? 1 million people. That's not a lot. That's big. It's not a lot. It says here's what it says. I got to be honest with you guys. I don't know anything about Leeds. What do I need to know about Leeds? Leeds they got a soccer team. Like I've seen Leeds jerseys. I've seen that. So I know that's a thing. Are they like a Viking place? Is this like Viking England, Leeds? I don't know. I don't know anything about Leeds. Anyway, all I can tell you is Leeds, I'm sure they're wonderful people. Hot chicks, good food. What do I need to know about Leeds? Help me out here. All right, that's number 5. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time on a bunch of these places. Unfortunately, I'm a dumb American who just, doesn't really know much. All right, so there you go. Number 5 is Leeds. All right, let's turn to number 4. Number 4 is one that we Americans all think we know about. Number 4, largest city in England is Liverpool. Liverpool. Beatles. That's every American. Liverpool, and I don't know really pound for pound how other Brits look at people in Liverpool. Like, I don't know if they're like considered like, the second most important. But if you were to ask a random American to name a city, not London in England, they would say Liverpool. That'd be Liverpool. 1.2 million people in Liverpool, as I say, 4 of which were the Beatles. Big Beatles fan. Love the Beatles. Is that a sore spot for Liverpool? That like everybody's like, no, we're much more than just the Beatles. I mean, is that a thing? I know you got a good soccer team. So, my God, football. Sorry, guys. I want to be respectful. That's what you call it. It's wrong, but yeah, you call it. All right, it's not wrong. We're wrong, but isn't this another example of the stubborn American spirit? Of course you're right. Of course your sport came first, and then we, derided it and marginalized it by calling it soccer. Is that even a word? Where did that word come from? No. All right. All right, let's learn about Liverpool. Wait, do we need to learn about Liverpool? Hold on. Unfortunately, the city of Liverpool doesn't come up. What comes up is Liverpool FC. All right. Liverpool. All right, here we go. I think this is it. Unless you got multiple Liverpool. See, this is what we're learning. All right. Liverpool is a port city and a metropolitan borough in Merseyside, England. Did you hear that? That was gas. Sorry. It's situated on the eastern side of the Mersey estuary near the Irish Sea, 178 miles northwest of London. All right, so 200 miles outside of London. That's, I don't know, by American standards, that's very doable. Like, if you were you could go party in London if you lived in Liverpool. You could go party in London at night. 200 miles. That's pushing it. Yeah. Anyway, all right. Established as a borough in Lancashire. Is it Lancashire? Is that it? Am I saying it right? Again, man, ugly American. I know. I'm trying, though. I'm at least a nice one, Let's see. Who are some notable people from England? Let's see if I know any of these people. Okay. Let's see here. George Frederick Cook. I can't say as I do. All right, these are all old people. Notable people. All right, people from Liverpool. Let's list of people from Merseyside. Is there? Oh, list of bands. You know what? I'm sorry, Liverpool, but it's not the worst thing to be a place that's like really known for bands and stuff. All right. Flock of Seagulls. All right. I'm a Gen Xer. All right. You got Flock of Seagulls. Who else you got? Ian Astbury from The Cult. All right. Yeah. All right. That's cool. Badfinger. Oh, is that the Badfinger Beatles connection? Is that like, so I love the Beatles and I also love Badfinger because I love the Beatles. And Badfinger is to me kind of like just, the Beatles had too much material, so they started a whole new band just to sell more records. Good work if you can get it. Anyway, is that the connection? Were they all like mates from Liverpool? Anyway, Badfinger, of course, the Beatles. Let's see, who else do we got? The Boo Radleys. I like the Boo Radleys. That's a good band. Again, I'm a Gen Xer. So, do we have time to go through all these? We're only at the C's. Let's see. Am I cutting over anybody? All right, what bands do I need to check? The Crying Shames. There you go. I've heard of them. They're an old band. E's. We're only at the E's. This was a bad commitment. I committed to scrolling through the bands from Liverpool. Jerry and the Pacemakers. Kind of knew about that from my Beatles history. Let's see here. Rolling in the H's. I'm committed. Icicle Works. There you go. Another Gen X band from Liverpool. Hi, Holly Johnson. Oh my God. Frankie Goes to Hollywood. Jeez Louise, my God. I never forget cruising down the expressway there in Dallas, Texas with my son. My son was probably about 11 years old or whatever. And my kid's got really good taste in music because his dad's got really good taste in music. And I've made sure to expose him to everything. You know, I want him listening to like Johnny Cash, and I want him listening to Nine Inch Nails, and I want him listening to Nirvana, and I want him listening to the Beatles and Fleetwood Mac and all that, right? So he's been exposed to a Marvin Gaye. I left out the greats. James Brown, Marvin Gaye, Earth, Wind, and Fire. Soul and funk is a big part of my cultural education of my son. I'm from the south side of Chicago. It happens. Anyway, point is this. We're rolling down the expressway, and Frankie Goes to Hollywood's Relax comes on. And, you know, I got like a 10-year-old kid in the car with me or whatever he was. And I just, you know, immediately go back to it's 1986. And I got it cranked, and I'm like, bam, bam, bam. And I realized like halfway through that, I don't know, maybe these lyrics aren't appropriate for my 10-year-old son who is wildly beyond his years. And he's sitting here listening to me sing it. And he goes, Dad. And I go, what? He goes, did he just say come? And I go, what? I think he did, son. You know, maybe you're a little bit young for this level of artistic interpretation, but yeah. Anyway, Holly Johnson. There you go. Julian Lennon. Well, of course he would be. Let's see. Who else? Bands that are from Liverpool as we celebrate the shit I don't know about cool-ass English cities. Nope. And by the way, OMD. Another, you know, Gen X. If you leave. This is what you get every day at noon. My hot takes on the world as it unfolds around us. And songs I will sing. Who am I missing? The Quarrymen. Of course, they are the skiffle group that was formed by John Lennon. The Rascals. All right. Rick Astley. He's from Liverpool. Let's see. Anybody else? Okay, we're in the S's, guys. We're in the... Who am I missing here? We're in the S's. The Spinners? They're not the Spinners. That's not the real Spinners. Get out of here. Okay. It says folk group, British folk group, the Spinners. Yeah, we're already in the T's. Who do we got? Any good? Am I missing some? Some of you might be watching this going, he's not going to say Ultra Beat. And I just did. Never heard of them, but they get a mention. All right, let's see. The Wombats. Well, I'd say the Wombats were a local band in Chicago in the 80s. They're not the same Wombats. I bet my Wombats don't have a Wikipedia page. So, okay, there you have it. That's our little exposition of our number 4. We're doing the 5 biggest cities, biggest metropolitan areas in England, and learning how little I know about it. So, again, I need you to smash the like, and I need you to comment. Tell me what I got wrong about your fair city. All right. Number 4, that's Liverpool. All right, let's move on now. Let's move on to number 3. Number 3 in our countdown of the 5 most important metropolitan areas in England. Number 3 is Manchester. Manchester. Now we could probably spend a lot of time doing bands from Manchester too, because that's one of the things that come to mind first when I think of the cool ass city of Manchester. Why do I call it a cool ass city? Because I've always thought of Manchester as kind of like the Chicago of England. You take no shit. You got a great history of all kinds of corruption and crime. Mostly it's because of your 2 football teams. It's because of Man City and Man United. I don't know. In most of well, I mean, I know a little because I can't appreciate the sweet sport. Is that what it's called? Sweet sport? King's game? I don't, whatever you guys call it there. I can appreciate it for its beauty. And one of the things that I also appreciate is rooting interest among a fan base. And Manchester seems to me, as a Chicagoan, to have a very similar thing going on between half the city is fans of Man City and half the city is fans of Man United. That's very much like Chicago. Half of Chicago is fans of the Chicago White Sox. Half of Chicago is fans of the Chicago Cubs. Never the two shall meet. And I am a fan of the White Sox, and thusly, I have always rooted for Man City because I see Man City as the White Sox equivalent and Man United as the big corporate Disney-fied. Anyway, that's pretty much all I know about Manchester. Let's learn a little bit more. Manchester is a city in Greater Manchester, England. It has a population of over 589,000. That's in the city. So I guess we're looking at the entire metro area. When I sit here and tell you there's 2.5 million, I ain't lying. I'm just, that's not the city proper. People move out of the city. What can I tell you? People move out of the city because people move in and they cook food that smells weird, and suddenly you're buying a house in the suburbs. That's not a uniquely English or American thing. It's a uniquely white guy thing. I think that's what it is. Soon as a white family smells some kind of food they don't recognize, oh, they're calling a realtor. They're like, we got to get out of here. What is that, fish? What kind of fish is that? All right, Manchester. So Manchester's got a lot of people in it. How would I know Manchester? Let's see here. We can do the history. We can do the culture. Let's do the culture. Because I think Manchester's got cool culture, right? That's their whole thing. Manchester musical acts of the 1960s include the Hollies, Herman's Perverts. Did I just call them Herman's Perverts? They're into something bad. Herman's Perverts are into something bad. All right, Herman's Hermits. I can't say it. It's gonna be an ongoing problem here. Davy Jones of the Monkees. He's cool. Earlier Bee Gees. I thought they're from Australia. What's that? Whatever. Bee Gees are cool. You got the Smiths. Like programming, Gen X kid, I want to go, Smiths are cool, but I don't know if the Smiths have held up so well. Then Morrissey kind of troubling. Doesn't he, I don't even know. I'm just like the vibe, right? That's just the branding that I've got. I don't even know. Whatever. All right, let's keep going. Who else? Morrissey, of course, is from here. Manchester, wait, but also in this like Oasis and stuff? That's what I thought those guys were from. I thought the whole Manchester scene. Got a lot of museums and galleries. Again, best known to we Americans from your sorry, I almost said it again, from your football teams. Public houses in the Canal Street area have had an LGBTQ plus clientele since at least 1940. See, gays weren't invented in the 90s. It wasn't like they just went, hey, let's start being gay. But it's been around us this whole time. Yeah, and you were fine. You've been fine. Your grandma survived, and she was surrounded by just as many gay people as... All right, Manchester. There you go. I got nothing else on Manchester. I think that's about as. There you go, Manchester. All right, let's see. We've gone through number 5, which is Leeds. We've talked a little bit about Liverpool, which is 4. We've got Manchester here at number 3. Manchester has 2.5 million. I call it the Chicago of England. So who comes in at number 2? Birmingham, 2.6 million. Okay, so Birmingham and Manchester are the same. Let's be honest. 2.5 million and 2.6 million is the difference between a suburb that is in the middle of both places and one town got credit for it over the other. That's all. Or maybe it's more than that. I don't know. Again, I need you to explain this stuff to me in the comments, so please help me out. All right, so Birmingham. What do I know about Birmingham? Peaky Blinders. That's pretty much it. Birmingham. Here's also a thing about Birmingham. Very working class, right? These are some tough sons bitches, right? These are, this is like, if you get an American view of things, these are like people from Pittsburgh, people from Cleveland, people from Aliquippa, Pennsylvania, or Youngstown, Ohio, right? These are people you don't fuck with. These are tough people, Birmingham people. All right, that's all I know. I bet it's better than Birmingham, Alabama. We got a Birmingham over here. I shouldn't do that. I've never been to Birmingham, Alabama, but no matter how cool Birmingham is, it's still got to live up to Alabama or live down. It's not one of our great states. All right, number 2 is Birmingham. Peaky Blinders. Please tell me what I need to know about Birmingham. I don't even know where Birmingham is. All right, so let's learn a little bit about Birmingham, find out where it is. At least I can picture it in a map. It's a city and metropolitan borough in the metropolitan county of West Midlands. See, I don't know how you guys do this. And again, we do it wrong in America. I recognize we do it wrong because you did it first and we decided that we could do it better. And so now we have the town that you live in, which is in the county that you live in, which is in the state that you live in, which is in the country that you live in. So, like me, I live in Chicago, Cook County, Illinois, United States of America. That makes sense to me because obviously that's all I've ever known. I don't know how you guys do it. What is like Winchester upon Tyne? What is that? What does that even mean? I'm from Pigglesworth on Thames. On? What? And what's this about going to, well, you don't go to the hospital, you're at hospital? Look, and again, I know you guys are doing it right. It's just, all right, back to Birmingham. Let's see, what is Birmingham? Notable people? Should we look at some notable people here in Birmingham? Why don't they have like in pop culture? I like that. I like when you can find how we might know Birmingham from pop culture. All right, list of people from Birmingham. This is going to be a lot, right? All right, you got some gymnasts. Scott Atkins. I don't know him. I'm sure he's terrific. Who else? Jack Badham? No, never mind. Thought he was Jack Brabham. I know Jack Brabham, the Formula One driver. I don't know any of these people. Well, I don't know. I'm dumb. I'm a dumb American. I don't know any of these people. These people all seem very fancy. Oh, Geezer. There we go. Geezer Butler. Trevor Burton. There you go. Couple of rockers. All right. I like Geezer. A bunch of Cadburys. What are they? The chocolate magnates? Or is it? Nah, this probably predates the chocolate. If their name is Cadbury, it's probably because, is there a city or a town? And they're like important lord people. All right. That's a problem. We should address this right now. And I know that a great many of you, my English cousins, I know that you agree with me, but a monarchy? I mean, look, I love it too. It's like your version of Disney. We have Disneyland and we have Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse and people travel from on there. And I get it. I get it as a tourist attraction, but you guys don't really think, well, maybe you do. And I don't want to be offensive. Well, you don't really think that like God or faith or some sort of, higher hand is involved in those people sitting on that throne, do you? You don't really, do you? We could have a reasonable conversation about it. But to me as an American, no. And I know what you're like. You're like, hey, look at your president. And I go, we're dealing with that. That's a problem. We are dealing with that. He's not allowed to wear a crown. We didn't give him a crown. He wants one. I'm sure he does. All right, who else do we got? Neville Chamberlain. There we go. He's a bad guy, right? History, my limited knowledge of history. We don't like Neville Chamberlain. He was an appeaser, right? All right, well, He's from Birmingham. Let's see. Who else do we have? I'm only going to name people that Americans know. I am probably skipping over some absolute British icons, but I'm a dumb American. Kat Deely. All right. Why do I know her? Is she hot? Maybe because that's the other way. Americans know hot English people. We know very hot English people, even if they're not on American TV. Is she hot? I don't know. I think I know her name. Jessie Eden. Oh, look at that. She's from Birmingham. Now, of course, I know her from Peaky Blinders. Although, I'm still not sure what she did. I think she was a communist or something. I don't know. Who else do we got? You know what? I can't do this. I keep committing to going through. I keep committing to going through the list of famous people from these big cities in England, and guess what? There's a shit ton of famous people. Felicity Jones. There you go. I know that name. I just tried to bullshit my way through it. I was like, oh, her. And I just had to pull up her picture. All right. I know who she is. All right. Once again, we are going through the 5 largest cities in England because I'm angry that they struck me from being able to review the Saturday Night Live UK first episode. We are at number 2, and it's time for us to go to number 1. But once again, before I give you the number... Such an idiot. Gee, I wonder what number 1 could be. Gee, I wonder. Okay. All right. Subscribe. Again, anything that I've said, I'd love to hear more. I want to hear you in the comments championing your place. And which is the best, by the way? Here's my vote. But, you know, I'm full of crap, right? My vote, the number one city in England is, of course, London, with 10.4 million people. London, where it all began. I've been to London. I ain't been to any of those other places. Maybe I should. I mean, I'm not against it, but I've been to London because London is close to where the plane landed. And I didn't really have my own car. So, and by the way, your public transportation system, as somebody from Chicago, we use public transportation a lot. Can I just, do you guys appreciate it? Do you guys appreciate the tube? Oh my God. You guys got that shit down. Good for you. All right. So London, easily explorable. I've been there. It's explorable because of the aforementioned tube. I like to say it that way. It's fun to say it that way. Tube. See, again, you people are saying it right. We're the ones that, we could do better. And then, now we got all these hillbillies running around butchering the Queen's English. London. I love London. Of all the places, I've been lucky that I've been able to go to a number of places around the world. Never been to the Far East, never been to the Middle East, never been to Africa. But I've been to London. I've been to New York, Los Angeles. I've been to Reykjavik. I've been to Dublin a couple of times. So I've been around. That's it. That's it. Now that I think about it, that's it. Mexico. Does Mexico count? If you're an American, and especially if you're living in Texas, does spending a weekend in Mexico count? It's like going across the street. But okay. So I've been to London. London is, depending on the day, London is my favorite city in the world. Depending on the day. I am also deeply in the tank for New York City. Oh, there is something about New York City, man. You're standing in Central Park at like 10 o'clock on a Tuesday night, and it just feels like you are sitting on the heartbeat of the earth. It's pretty cool. But then I think about London, and I think about, oh my God, how great is London, though? You know what? I'm sitting here going, come on, quick, man, conjure up a really cool memory of one of the 2 times you've been to London. Do it, and I can't. You know why? Because every time I've been to London, I've been drunken on drugs. That's right. That's the kind of city London is. And you go to party. I don't remember. I just know I had great times. I love London. All right, guys, there you have it. That is my special list. It's a bit of a protest because, again, I was trying to review SNL UK, which, by the way, you people in the United Kingdom, if you haven't seen SNL UK yet, you're in for a treat because I wanted to be like real critical of it. I'm a Saturday Night Live historian. I love it. Saturday Night Live has expanded to the United Kingdom. I did a whole review. It was like an hour-long thing. And then YouTube said, no, You can't do that. So in protest, I decided to do this, which is just a list of the British cities ranked. Hope you've enjoyed it. Once again, those 5 cities, Leeds came in at number 5 with 1 million people. Didn't know much about Leeds. Wasn't really a lot to say. I hope you good people of Leeds set me straight in the comments. Tell me what's the coolest thing about your city. And again, I'm from Chicago, so I'd love to hear what you think about mine. Although I can guess. Oh, are you dodging bullets? Isn't that like the most dangerous place on earth? Don't they call it Chirac? Please, be fine. All right, we had Leeds at number 5, Liverpool at number 4, Manchester at number 3, Birmingham number 2, and London comes in at number 1. There you go. That's it. I got no way out of this. I don't know how to end this thing other than to say, again, I really do appreciate, I've really found myself becoming a big fan of British culture for no other reason than Sky News and the perspective on America that I'm getting from you people. You people know we're nuts, so thank you. Thank you for that. Also, might I remind you that if you've enjoyed this, you can listen to my take on the world every day at noon Central Standard Time. So, if you're listening in England, this will be at night. I do hot topics, current events, rip and reads. If it's happening in the world, we talk about it. We don't get into American politics because there's, you can't go on American radio. And I know because I was on American radio for 20 years. You can't go on American radio and not talk politics. Well, I refuse to talk politics. So join me and a collection of normal people every day at noon for the rant. And thank you to my new British friends. This has been Pugs Moran and what he doesn't know at all about the largest 5 British cities. Bye, everybody.